What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Hold on. Oh, I could hear myself there for a second. Let's take two on that. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Elude Stalwart playing World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth. Today we're going to be running on Nightmyre. He's our level 118 Retribution Paladin. Yesterday I went Holy for a little bit, but he's main spec Ret. I had to go Holy in order to defeat one of these giant dragons. I forget his, or dinosaurs rather. I forget what his name was. It was like King Katal or something like that. He was not soloable for me. He was 300,000 hit points, I think close to 400,000 hit points, and he hit like a freight train and stomped and feared. So I ended up having to join the LFG queue and get somebody else to help me out. I got this level 112 Hunter, and it was just me and the Hunter at first. So I went Holy, and I was like, I think I could keep your pet alive, and it pretty much trivialized it. It was pretty good. Pink Rose says, "Hi, Elude. How's you today?" Ree, what's up, Pink Rose? Welcome to the stream. I'm doing all right. I got the wife here. She's shopping on her phone, and I just saw E3 on her phone. What are you looking at? E3. Say hi to the stream, babe. Say hello. I'm Mrs. Stalwart, and you're Sulema. They know you as Sulema. You're my demon hunter. Y'all may remember Sulema, the demon hunter I leveled just recently. She didn't even say hello. I said say hello, and she just looked at me.
Hello.
Oh, look, she said hello, hello. We got Pink Rose and Blue Strider in the chat. Oh, look, Blue Strider says, "Morning, cousin Jeanette. Buy all the things, Sulema." He said, "Buy all the E3 things."
Okay.
Cuz has been watching E3, so you and him might be buying some of the same games. If you want, you could get a PlayStation 5 and you can run with Cuz, babe. On Final Fantasy 15. Pink Rose said, "Yep."
What if I go to Walmart early and get a blouse?
What if you what? A blouse? I didn't even realize there was a mailbox here. So I guess Ransa Greyfeather has a backpack here that's actually a mailbox. Interesting. And I just saw that we had alliance attacks that we need to repel. This might actually level us, this stuff here. I think before anything, I'm gonna probably run out and do that. This thing tells me to hark to the Great Seal, but I think I could probably just hit the flight path up here and get going. Blue Strider says, "Oh, did you see that sale thing I linked you in Discord? It's a month pass of games for $1. Oh, no, I didn't. I'm gonna have to, let me open up Discord. Let me get in flight first, and then I'll open Discord. Do you want something? He said, "I pray that you said I don't know if y'all are hearing the game right now. System, sound, master volume. Yeah, this is correct. Let's roar. No, you're not hearing the sound. What the deuce? Go to Prophetess. Default CTE explorer. Try that out. Now you hear the sound. There we go. Let's try to I'm loading up Discord right now, so give me a sec. It's a new Xbox Pass thingy for PC. I'm not hearing the game things. Yeah, you should now. Here, look. This will be a train test. That's the sound of the sub train, folks. Like, comment, and subscribe. And if you haven't, support me on Streamlabs. Give me your money. Alright. It's loaded up. Let's see. I heard about this Xbox thing. The $1 for the game stuff. Is that their way of competing with the Stadia? They're like, oh, Stadia's coming out, eh? Let's just open all the floodgates here and allow people to do what we've planned all along on Xbox. And then like evil maniacal laugh ensues. That's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff coming out lately that's quote unquote free. You know, the free things like for example, the Epic's Games launcher. All these games are coming up for free on Epic's Games. Twitch, if you're like a Twitch Prime member, you get a bunch of games for free on Twitch. JD McFly22 says, if you get on Minecraft, don't be alerted by the high number of cows in the farm. Oh, nice. He just sent me that message. You hear me?
Mm.
John just sent me a message 15 minutes ago saying, if I get on Minecraft, don't be alerted by the high number of cows. Remember we was looking for cows on our farm?
Yeah.
He gave us more cows. Nice. So exciting. Now all the diamonds belong to us. People will trade for the letters. Nice. I wonder if they could kill our cows. I hope not. Mommy says that she loves you, Papa Cheetos. Whatever that means. Ho 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 ho.
It's making fun.
Alright. The TSV has a link. Blue Strider sent a okay, it says Elude, this has a 1-month trial of 100 games for $1. The closest thing to Netflix, in my opinion, might be something you want to try out. Games are a bit older, like MK10 and Forza, but Gears 5 and others confirm they released. Jeanette, can I have $1?
Yeah.
I need $1. I need $1. I need $1. Hey, 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 hey. Or better yet, I need $1, $1, $1. $1, that's what I need. Where's here, I'll show you guys what I'm doing. $1, that's what I need. I need $1, $1, that's what I need. This is what that's for. There we go. This is for $1. Gears 5. Enjoy day 1 access. Forza, Minecraft. Pink Rose. Oh no, this is for Xbone only. I was gonna say, Pink Rose, you probably want to get this, but it's Xbone only. You have an Xbox, don't you, Pink Rose? Imperator Rome, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Rocket League. Okay, so the only thing I would actually have access to is Forza Horizon, which is cool because I can play that with my son John. Imperator Rome, I don't even know what that is. Nor do I very much care. Ark is a game that I've been wanting to try out. Football Manager, and they got soccer players for some reason. I don't understand that. They call it football, but it shows soccer players. Huh. Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus. Sea of Thieves, I've heard of that game. Metro Exodus, I've heard of that one as well. I think I wanted to try Metro. Vampire, I've seen that one, and I think I may have wanted to try it, but I thought it would be more like Thieves or something. Okay, this is a Game Pass. So that means this is temporary access for how long? So unlimited access to 100 high quality PC games with Windows 10. Join for $5 a month during beta. I think it's $5 a month for me. It's probably $1 if you have an Xbox already. Let me go back. No. Well, here we go. So Xbox Game Pass, one low food price. Okay, so it's $1 for probably a month, and then after that it's $15 a month. Whereas for the PC, oh, that's the ultimate rather. The console is $10 a month. So it's only $1 for the ultimate, and then after that first month, it looks like it goes up to $15 a month. And for console specifically, it's $10 a month after that if you don't get the ultimate, and then $5 a month for PC. I'd probably get this one. The $5 a month. How long does this go on? My only concern would be how do these games run on my PC? Because I find like GTA 5 runs awesome. If they're like that era, which is I think it is, because like based off of Forza Horizons, they're on a set of Forza something like that now. Share your dollar with me. Share your dollar. Yeah. Ooh yeah. Share your dollar with me. Alright, built for PC gamers. Xbox, PC, it's easier than ever. You'll get this cool new launcher that's a lot like Discord and stuff. Yeah, so it's $4 a month. I just wanted to see how long the $1 thing lasts. I think it's just a month, right? Here's your Xbox Game Pass membership, blase blase. If I got this for anything, it would be to play Forza with my son. Join the beta for $1. 80% off. So, no, I don't want to sign up. Wish list. Oh God, it wants me to sign in. It's gonna get my login. No. Let's go back. Blue Strider says, I'm not hearing game things. I'm not sure it's a way to get Xbox games on PC. Yeah, there are Xbox games on PC. Like Minecraft, for example. I play that and it treats it like I'm on an Xbone. So whenever I'm playing with John, it'll work like I'm on an Xbox. Well, this pass is only $1 for a month. It's like $15 for the next month, so be careful. It's $5 a month after this. No, the pass is for Xbox app on the PC. Yeah, the PC already has the Xbox app. You don't need an Xbox. Right. I have the games launcher. Pink Rose says no. Oh, you got a PS4, Pink Rose? I see. They're supposed to have over 100 games and a lot of indie. Yeah, it's like Xbox's version of Steam. I get it. That's cool. These are the games. These are all the titles here. State of Decay. That's cool. That's included with the Games Pass. There's so many games here. I wouldn't have enough time to play them within a month. But the games that I would go for is Forza to run with my son. The State of Decay is something that I've been wanting to check out. Ark is something I've been wanting to check out. Hello Neighbor is another game that I want to check out. Nothing else there really. Football Manager, even though it's soccer. I probably wouldn't want not this thing. All the rest of these I've never heard of. Maybe Metro, but I played I heard BioShock Infinite was supposed to. Is that the name of it? I don't even remember. There was a BioShock that everybody was raving about that I played, and I get the same vibes from Metro. Where I actually started playing it. It was interesting at first, but I was kind of bored with it because it's a single player game. I'm not much for single player games unless it's like really good. Hotline Miami, I've heard of that. I think I've even tried to play that one. Nothing else jumps out at me. Oxenfree, I've actually played with the Epic's game launcher. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But those three games, I could probably bounce between the three in a month or so, and see which one we end up favoring more. My worry with Arc is there's like DLC and stuff with Arc, right? Like extra packs you can get. So this is a gateway drug. I feel like I would get into that one and just be like all in on Arc for a long time and like have to spend more money to get the DLCs and stuff. It's got 3 stars, surprisingly enough. I hear so many people play it. I'm surprised by that it's 3 stars. It's like Pokemon, right? You go out and you tame creatures in the wild and stuff. State of Decay is one that I'm pretty interested in, though. That one sounds legit AF. Because this one's like, I think it is single player. Maybe it is multiplayer, I don't know. But I like the zombie apocalypse thing. This came out when I was really into like Daisy and some other stuff. Cool, cool. Yeah, I heard about this. I just I didn't look at it because I didn't want to start trying to get things. Strider says, "Hey, cuz, there's a PC deal one drop. It's like Netflix. A lot of games, older configured Gears 5, and we want to try it out classic. Want to have time to play a grinding Final Fantasy." Oh, you're still playing Final Fantasy 14th until the 28th. You're only level 63. What's the max level right now? Yeah, man, I'm content with playing WoW. I have a BFA subscription, so as long as I have that, I'm content with leveling characters and stuff. And I've been bouncing between WoW and GTA 5 the past few days, or actually the past couple of weeks, and it's been pretty entertaining. I'm still playing GTA 5 online. Like I was playing it yesterday, and the pack that I got, it came with this. It says Enterprise Executives pack, and when I purchased the game, so I started with like I don't know. I think it was $10 million worth of in-game currency and items. And yesterday, I realized that there was a whole shitload of stuff like cars and houses and things like that, that my game came with that I didn't realize were available since I've been playing. So yesterday, I went around collecting all that stuff, and I got like 2 or 3 apartments, a bunker, a couple garages, and supercars and motorcycles, and all kinds of shit to get me going on the online mode. I think Alex has been playing GTA 5 more than I have, but I think yesterday actually, whenever I was, he told me he got me a bunch of cars, and I was like, cool, let's go to the garage and check them out. And they're like a bunch of basic cars, but some of them were actually kind of cool. He got me like a Shelby GT 500, which I was pretty excited about, and I think it was a Hummer, which I was gonna keep. They called it the Patriot, but I was thinking whenever I got all those other cars that I needed to replace them. And this was before I realized I had 2 other apartments or parking garages that I could park cars in. So I ended up getting rid of the Patriot, but I still kept a couple of the cars that he had found. He was just taking them to the auto shop and putting theft loss prevention on them and insurance and keeping them in the garage. And I think he had like 9 cars that I either had to like get rid of or swap out because I had like it was like, what was it? They gave me a hot rod. It's like a 1965 Corvette slash. No, I don't know. You know how they do mixes of vehicles where it's like a Corvette and a Camaro mixed, or they have like Lamborghinis and McLarens mixed. That's what I think. The supercar that I have, I think it resembles a McLaren. But I was pretty stoked about that, and I still have yet to check out the bunker and one of my other apartments. But the one that we had initially, the apartment we had initially is like kind of up in the hills area where there's like a lot of twists and turns. So it's a nice apartment. It's one of the nicer ones, but it's kind of out of the way. So initially we had to drive out of those like twists and turns and everything before we could get out to do missions. Now I got a cheaper apartment that's closer to the city, where I could just hop out and just be in the city, like doing missions, like immediately without having to drive my super fast car down these narrow roads with all these twists and turns. So I was pretty excited about that. Weapons and stuff we got with that pack as well. So like, there's still plenty of stuff I need to explore around all that in the GTA 5s. I guess all that to say is I probably don't have time to play very many other games if I'm going to be like, I don't know, we've got like the classic cast. Let's do the classic WoW countdown here. Let me put that up. I am going to check this out a little later, and maybe if I get bored, I'll probably come and check out the Xbox Pass. What I was looking for was an expiration date. I don't know how long this little beta classic thing is going to be going on. I mean, Xbox Game Pass thing is going to be going on. I don't know. If you can find an end date, then I'd be interested to know how long I can wait to cash in on that. Of course, maybe I shouldn't wait. Maybe I should just go ahead and get it. I just don't want to forget that I have it and then the subs start to renew, because I've done that with things before, and then be caught off guard. We have 74 days, 20 hours, 12 minutes until Classic's release. So I don't know if that's 74 days worth of entertainment between GTA and WoW. But if there's any lack, then I could definitely check those things out. Not to mention, I almost downloaded that Legion private server stuff today. This morning I was looking at WoW and I was like, Pink Rose is actually playing the Legion thing. I almost downloaded that. I was like, no, let me just stick to what I got. I got a pretty good plan here to just level out the characters I have yet to max. Okay, this is why I'm confused. In this area, I just need these guys. But I'm supposed to be also killing the dire horn hatchling's hunger. Or sating his hunger. And for his hunger, what does he want? I'm supposed to send him to get something. Is it the Savage Mane hatchlings? What does he want to eat? I forget how that works. I'm in the area for his hunger. No, I'm in the area for the Void Elf heads. I see. The reason why I'm here is the Legion Fall attacks appear. And these have 3 hours. So I got plenty of time. The Direhorn hatchlings more south. Got it, okay. A little disoriented there, but I think we're back on track. Sorry, said, don't forget to repair. GG. I think when E3 officially ends, it's like sometime this week. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll probably pick it up then. All this, there's a word for that when they do things like that. Artificial limited time only type things. It's a sales technique. They'll give you a really great deal. They'll show you this amazing thing that you can participate in, but for a limited time only. And they'll put the end date like soon, so you get panicky and you purchase just reflexively because of the FOMO. You don't want, it's the fear of missing out. You're like, I don't want to miss out. So you spend a very low amount of money for a great deal, and then they get you later. They get ya. They do. Well deserved. Alright, we gotta speak to Kaz the Shrieker over here. Looks like they're in a cave, or oh no, they're up on the bridge. Ah, okay, I think I remember this quest. What is this one? Yabrak the Poacher. Man, there's so much stuff in this area. I didn't know it was only $5 for PC. It's really not much difference. Yeah, it's not bad at all, man. What's cool is all that stuff is it's as if it's cross-platform. It's as if it's cross-platform compatible like that. because all them Xbox games, the PC players can play with them seamlessly, like with Minecraft. Where is the poacher at? We're looking for Jabrak the poacher slain. Do you need protection? 800 is where they. This is a 3-player challenge. Seek out window and never. It says here, but all I see is Dinomancer Django. Maybe there's a cave. There's no cave. I think it is a cave. I think I'm missing the cave entrance somewhere. Usually it shows one. Maybe around this way. Or up top. Ugh. Where is this poacher? I don't see. That looks like it might be a cave entrance. Let's go to the Googles. It's Jabra Khan. Wanted Jabra Khan. Come to me. Oh God. My Googles don't want to open. Come on, Googles. You can do it. I'm gonna get like 3 Googles open in just a second. Wanted Jabra Khan. Wanted Jabra Khan. Alright, where is it? Usually whenever I have an issue like this, the comments are pretty good. After 8.1, during the assault, he's replaced by Dinomancer Django, which makes the quest uncompletable. Ah. Wow, okay. So during that you can't actually do the quest. Okay, alright, good to know. This is a comment that they posted on Wowhead. After patch that 8.1. I want to upload it. Elude Stalwart. I'm Elude Stalwart on Wowhead, by the way. Thank you, Mr. Devisor. So we gotta wait till after the assault in order to finish that. Apparently. Okay. So next. Love the iron. Let's go. Blue Strider says, which is good to know for me. I can always try it later, but I think my plan is to fall back into Final Fantasy 14. I regret leaving it. I'm going to try to get into good guild and FC to get into raiding. Nice, man. You're going to get back into some raid leading? Or are you just going to use that on your resume so whenever you apply, they're more likely to invite you to the raid? That's what I used to do. I used to tell them my raid experience, and that would be how I got my foot in. And then I would just do what I want. Of course, with all the LFG finder and all that stuff, the state of the game now, it really doesn't matter as much. They're more open and willing to invite people than before. I was looking at the raid scene for a little while there, like almost all of last expansion and a little bit at the beginning of this expansion, and I did find a good guild that was raiding. Good guild, quote unquote. I just mean people that were logging in consistently to do the raids. But I very quickly remember the tedium, and after experiencing just for a few weeks kind of like what the progression, quote unquote, felt like in that guild. Now maybe this isn't the case for every guild, but the guild I was in, and as much effort as I put or didn't put into getting to that guild, I very quickly found out that I don't think I'm gonna enjoy raiding very much anymore. If I want to see the raids, I can get into LFR, but I don't know. I was feeling a similar feeling that I used to feel in raids, where it doesn't feel like progression anymore. Like maybe I remember Cataclysm before I really started getting wholeheartedly into LFR a whole lot. The progression still felt real in raids, but somehow with the implementation of LFR, and I think this may be it. It may be the fact that with LFR now, you can get up to a certain base item level, and maybe that's what it is as well. Maybe it has something to do with the way you gear nowadays. But since raiding is along the way in that progression for me, in the way I play, it's get up to the level that you can unlock LFR, and then after you can unlock LFR, get the gear or gear equivalent of what the LFR drops. And this is all during the progression raids, by the way. So like in between each progression raid week to week, I'm like running LFR and doing my world quests or whatever I need to get geared with. After I get to a certain baseline, I'm pretty much done with that character. I'll move on to somebody else until I can, like, I don't know. For me, it's not how high can I get my character. For me, it's like, how high can I get many characters? Once I slow down in my upgrades and gearing, and it's like, maybe I'm waiting for something to Titan Forge, or maybe I'm waiting for one specific item on that character, I think to myself, I could switch to an alt and get like, 6 items for this character and get him at least caught up to the stage where it's all slowed down for my main. So I try to get a second character up to where he's just waiting for one piece of gear. And I'll rotate through all my characters like that until I get everybody up to where they just need the few specific best in slot items or the few like onesies and twosie items. And I'll just keep on rotating like that. So I never actually find myself in a situation where I'm just waiting on or relying on the next raid to gear my guy. Like, I don't like any barrier to progression, I guess, is probably the way to say it. And if that barrier to progression is waiting for fellow guildies to log in consistently, because there was a core group, and there probably always is a core group of guildies that will log in for the raids. But unless you got like a hardcore Nazi like raid leader that's booting out the stagnant people or booting out the people who aren't making any progress for the guild, then, and I don't want that. Like, I don't want to have a hardcore Nazi raid leader. I'd prefer somebody that's like, like, hey guys, let's do this raid, and people to kind of like willingly on their own be like, okay, let's do this raid. You know what I mean? Like, I prefer it that way, but that's not always the case. It's quite often the case that there's the people that are just out for themselves, and somehow throughout the recruitment process, you got more than a few of those types, and then it just kind of ruins it for me. I'm like, I don't know. I'm less enthused to log in at that point. Whenever you see that many people showing up each week, and not only that, but like, they're running all the other stuff in between each week as well. I don't think I have water with this guy. Oh yes, I do. There we go. So I'm gonna actually need a group for that apparently. Thought I could solo. I was thinking I'll take out the low hit points guy first. Got crazy. My bad, cuz I fell behind. Oh. Mythic rating is fun, it's the best, but WoW with the mechanics being so hard and trying to schedule 20 people to do whenever it's easier to do something like LFR Jesus for equal makes it meaningless. That's why I've decided to build on even classic in Final Fantasy 14. No need to worry about alts or giving failing company my money or paying recycled content. You need a firm raid leader for it to be successful or long lasting, not a douchey, just firm. Yeah, pretty much. But I've only ever seen and participated in guilds that have the douchey one, that actually have. It's hard to find the firm, quote unquote, the firm one. Oftentimes there's a flavor of douchiness where it's like, I don't even want to help this guy. You know what I mean? And then sometimes those guys they're there, but they're also like doing the main content like in the LFR, and you're getting their alt each night that you're wiping, and they say stupid shit like, "Oh man, we could have had this if I would have brought my main, but he saved." And it's like, why even say that? It's like you're just demoralizing people who are actually trying. That's what we were getting in that last guild. The people that knew what they were doing were just bringing alts to our quote-unquote progression raids. It's really demoralizing whenever you have your main in that raid where they're just bringing their alt. And there are a few nights where that person wouldn't even show up, and it's like, well, geez. But the enthusiastic people are still getting the raid off the ground for the people that wanted to progress. So I don't know. I think that put a bad taste in my mouth at the beginning of the expansion, and I just kind of like said, "Well, I got plenty of alts to keep my time. I don't need this." That's what one of my buddies used to always say is like, I very easily jump ship, and that's I guess my nature is I jump ship whenever it's not fun. I just prefer to continue to enjoy myself whenever I play this game I pay for, you know. I was wanting BFL launch, and it was good and fun. He was firm, but got into friendship and politics on progression, waiting for one or two people. Ah, okay. Yeah, whenever the firm leader's friends aren't showing up to raid or able to enter the raid. Let's get a group for this one as well, because that's 1,000,000 hit points of just about collectively. Ah, here we go. We can just tag and bag. Tag them, get a couple moves off, pop our coolies, and bag them. Thank you very much. So that put us at 119 here. Nightmare is just about there now. Just a boot there. But yeah, I don't let that ruin the game for me. If I'm gonna get into like any kind of progression or anything like that, it's gonna be with friends. So if I ever get any of my friends online in WoW and there's a group of us, we'll build our own army eventually. And the only thing is it's hard in BFA with all the different servers and all the ability to do your own stuff in LFRs and stuff like that. The different play schedules, like I don't know. I think that's the thing I miss the most from Classic that I can't wait to see again. The Reckoning. The Reckoning. Reckoning, that's one thing I miss from Classic. But, the narrow community. Like it's the community aspect. I hope it holds up. I hope it ends up being what it used to be. You know, with people like caring about their guild and the people they're associated with. Because if you see a guild that, like, there was always that guild on every server that everybody knew that was progressing. That like, when you saw the person cry out in Orgrimmar and everybody got the War Chief's blessing while leveling, you knew that that guy was part of that guild. The one guild that was, you know, doing the high-end raiding and stuff. And you almost never saw them recruiting in chat, but whenever you did see them recruiting, They wanted like, you know, a full resume and your work history and the blood of your firstborn child. And you had to go to their forum or their website in order to register and sign up for maybe an interview, but often you never heard back from them whenever you did because you just weren't experienced enough because you were a noob. Like that guild. And they set the tone, I think, but they're also a good example of like what it is whenever it gets really good. Like whenever the guild that you're part of is actually making progress and doing well, and they had like the tight knit. So if you saw someone in that guild in one of your runs, you knew that was going to be a good run. And if it wasn't, usually that person was the first person to start making changes and getting the right people invited. They were like, man, that rogue was a douche. Here, I'll invite somebody from my guild. And then you get two of them, and then that was like the best run ever. Returner says, yeah, man, he should have just sat them and reported them from main group instead of saying we were just going to practice tonight. This problem without rating BFA fun itself. Yeah, I mean, any kind of politics, yeah. Whenever friends are involved, it becomes less democratic, I guess. Because you want to be the good friend. And classic would be better, but it's recycled, and you'll be adding random people to each floor to reach 40 men. Yeah. There's going to be that issue as well, but that's why the population is going to matter as well too. Because the more of those 40-man raids that are happening, the more people are getting to know the few people on their server. Whereas now it's just like a drop in a bucket. It's like, let me hit this random auto finder and get a random person endlessly. Oh, I don't like this person. Let me kick this person and just hit the random button again and get somebody else. This person's alright. I think that's what ends up happening with this random dungeon finder is you end up with people that are just tolerable. Not people that you enjoy running with, but just people you can tolerate. And I think that's where it kind of like tarnishes what the run could have been or what fun you would have had. Is where it's like, okay, I can tolerate these people. I can do this whole run without saying 2 words and just get by. Whereas in Classic, it's like, okay, so we're about to enter a 30 to 40 to an hour and a half commitment with this player. It matters a lot more who this player is if I'm going to have to, you know, get through this dungeon with them. And maybe it's not to that extreme, but it's somewhat to that, in that direction. Whenever you're running those type of dungeons and raids. I guess all that to just say it matters who you're running with in Classic. Whereas in BFA, it really doesn't matter who you're running with. They're just cannon fodder. They're computer keyboard fodder. Resumes were a filter to keep bad players out, but I don't think it's going to be the same. Most people going back. I think most returners won't have the same amount of time with the scheduling. Yeah, that's true. But I think there will be the potential for deeper relationships and more friendships to happen. Kind of to the point I was just making about like how long the runs were, and not only that, but how long you're going to sit in a party before a run even happens. Like you're not going to have a chance to be in a run like that if you don't have time to play. So, like. You're really gonna. I think that weeds out the players who can't play for a very long time, and just leaves the players who have that much time to play. And the people who have that much time to play are probably going to care a lot more about their reputation and the way they look to other people. So it may even like in some way be a good filtering process, like in a positive sense, because then like you have the people who are not only committed to doing the whole run, but the people who are committed to keeping a good, I guess, rapport with others to interact with. We'll see, though. I mean, we're not going to know unless it's already happening, so I'm sure we'll find out. I think I got off on a little tangent here, killing these quest. These quest people. I need to be repelling Alliance gyrocoppers, and I'm just doing the quests in this area, which I really should be saving for when I have the XP bonus, but I have no shortage of quests, so it's all good. I think this buff that I'm going to get from doing these world quests here is going to ride me out to 120. Alright, where are the gyrocopters? There's pterodactyls. Let's get to where the gyrocopters are. And before we do, let's get this final treasure map piece. So Shire says people will take off with classic when classic launches, and the first month will be fine. But I think 2 months out, when the raids begin to launch, the guilds will have to reform. I think I'll have more fun in 14 because it's only an 8-man for raids, and it's easier for more apparent when someone's not doing something right. Right on. I mean, it's pretty easy to tell if someone's not doing their job in BFA even. It's just, it doesn't matter if someone's not doing their job in BFA because most of the group is so overpowered they can make up for it. But like, for example, like if you really cared about people doing their job and doing it properly, and like BFA is so forgiving it doesn't matter, but for example, like check this out. If I go, let's see if I can illustrate this. There's something here that I need. I'm trying to get before I do this, but I don't know where it's at. Scouting map. There's supposed to be a scouting map here. Is this another one of those quests that won't show up unless I'm... Ah, here he is. I was gonna say, damn. If I mark this guy, if I go skull, right here like that, and I attack him, that's the guy we want to attack. And then we go to this pool here, and I get this guy here. Not an LOS apparently. And then I get this guy here. And then this guy here. And say this is a super uber classic pull. Oh god. We want this guy with skull. This guy with square. Now, if I go like this, and I'm DPSing that guy, but then I switch to this dude here. And then I go to this guy here. For this encounter, I can look back here to this. Add a bookmark, custom, damage on skull targets. I can see Nightmyre was damaging this skull target 100% of the time. Or for 100% of the damage. Now, there's other ones. I don't know how I would make that something I could track properly. But if I was in a raid, for example, and I saw Nightmyre was doing 100% of the damage to the skull, but the rogue, for example, was only doing 3% of damage to the skull, we know the rogue's not doing what he's told. He's fucking around. Like, and this, not only that, but like you can see the full damage breakdown and like details. And I think we've already established, we've talked about this before with the Raider IO and all those, not Raider IO, but those type of third-party websites you could go to. Was it Raider.io? That's an add-on, right? What was the third-party website? I forget the name of it. But you could see the full play-by-play encounter breakdown of people's positioning and all that stuff. If you really had like somebody that cared about progression, and if it really was difficult, which I think this is what the people do in the world first races and stuff to like review their strategies and correct their mistakes and stuff. You could go to those websites and get a full breakdown of the encounter and find out those things. But I would never go out of the way to do content you're talking about. I would do a high-end raid or M+ in BFA. Majority of the content is built for mobile audience. Yeah, true that. People that are and the way I heard it described, I think the best way that it was described was with BFA they designed the game for people that don't want to play it. And I think that's ultimately like what ended up happening with WoW is WoW became designed in so many different ways for people that didn't want to play it. I don't think I've ever heard it put so succinctly. You know what I mean? There's a war chest over here. I've always loved WoW though, so I don't know. Like, I almost feel like I'm biased because I don't know if it is biased though. I've always loved WoW. Like, I could play it for hours and be content. I've never played a game like it, and even though it's changed so much from the game that I initially started playing, I felt like it's grown over the years, and the things that it's done well, I think it's improved on, and I've been happy with that. And I'm happy to continue playing it. Now, there are expansions where I have fell off. Like, Cataclysm was really fun for me, but at a certain point with the LFR and all that stuff, I did just fall off. And the moment it's not fun anymore, I stop playing it. But you won't catch me playing it unless I'm enjoying myself. Like Warlords of Draenor, I was completely out of that whole expansion. To a certain extent, I think there was just better things to play at the time, and some of the major systems in the game I just wasn't a fan of. When it seemed like that was the only way to actually do the things I wanted to do was to mess with these major systems I didn't agree with or like, then that's where I've had it, where I'm like, okay, well, no thank you, but it was fun while it was fun. And even now it's like I'm actually surprised by how well alcoholism is holding up in BFA. Because Legion did alcoholism well, but there were certain things that I didn't really like or agree with alcoholism, like having different characters in Legion. Like the class order hall campaign was a very refreshing thing, being able to go through all of those and get class specific mounts. And the fact that I have every mount for every class now, and at any point in the future I could create one of those characters again, and as soon as they're able to have writing training, they have access to that mount. I love that. I love that they're paying attention to people who have multiple characters like that. And it was such a good thing that I decided to do it for all of them, and I'm rewarded by always having that now. So like things like that, I don't know, like they do well. There's things that I didn't like about having that many characters though, where like you had to get your artifact for each different character. They all had their own artifact knowledge. Of course, artifact knowledge changed. It was tweaked so many times throughout the expansion. Like it's hardly a point to make, but there was a lot of rub for me with artifact knowledge and research, because I felt like I was being either pigeonholed into one specific spec on a character, or even pigeonholed into just playing one character that I wanted to quote unquote focus on for a main. I didn't like that. That felt kind of restrictive. And anytime I feel like I'm being restricted or held back, I'm like not having fun. Even if it's something I probably don't even really care about, like, because I don't think I really did. Well, I don't know. Who knows, right? Like, if it would have been the other way, if I would have enjoyed it better. Like, I would have preferred anything that's shared among all my tunes that I can do. I tend to like that more. But having unique items like those class mounts, that was an interesting thing that I was actually willing to go out of my way for. This may be no bueno. Okay, cool, they're dating. Thankfully, she resets pretty quickly. I would have died there. Blueshire says the community was... Oh, mythic rating isn't really about doing damage anymore. I don't know if it ever was. It's moving in and out, positioning, doing them. They just had DPS check-in sometimes. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's more about knowing the fights. The community was better earlier on. More people cared. You mean in Legion? Now you got people only caring about certain aspects, or they want to do the content quickly so they can go play Fortnite or Gears 5. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's chores. I don't enjoy chores. Not in a game. Like I play a game to, have fun, not feel like I'm working. That's always been the rub for me with world quests. And that's a thing about world quests as well. That was a thing last expansion where when world quests became the progression, I didn't have as much fun during that. Like, for example, if I wanted to get the other races, I still haven't gotten the High Mountain Tauren. I still haven't gotten the Honor Bound. And the Magar Orcs are the shit. Like, I've always been a huge fan of the Orcs race and RP and all that stuff. But the fact that I gotta go grind out Honor Bound reputation, and at this point, it's probably like I'm probably halfway through Revered, and I just need to do half of Revered to Exalted, and I'll have them. But it's so taxing for me to do that and still enjoy myself that I haven't went back to do it yet. I'm still just content to level my alts because like what do I really need a Magar Orc for? I mean, eventually at some point I'll probably get them, but just like eventually at some point I'll probably switch Epic Pro to Alliance because now I've leveled Elude Druid and I have two 120 Druids that are both Horde. Just because I've all the time that I've had Epic Pro, I made Epic Pro before trolls could be druids. And it's always been a rub for me that I've had a druid that is a cow. Because whenever the trolls came out, they looked so much cooler when they shapeshifted. Because I really love the way the troll druids look in all their shapeshift forms and stuff. But since then I've been a cow. Like I've had the opportunity to race change, and this was the point. Is like I could have race changed a long time ago and became a troll druid, but that's a couple extra steps, and that's extra money. So no, thank you. That's the same with Honor Bound, and that's the same with Dark Iron Dwarves, and that's the same for High Mountain Tauren. It's like that's something I can live without. I don't really need to. I'm not that serious about taking those couple extra steps, and I can just live without it. So anything like that, I'm not gonna do. It's there, it's available, and the fact that it's available and I could always access it is just even more of a deterrent for me. It's like, I could always do that later. And it's actually the same with Warlords of Draenor. Like in Warlords of Draenor, that's one of the, if not the only expansion I don't have flying in. And I don't get it. I don't go back and do flying because I can live without it. Like really it takes like what, 2 days to level through Warlords of Draenor? I can be on a ground mount for 2 days. That's fine. It's like I don't need to go back and get flying just so all of my future endeavors leveling characters is, 2 days quicker or whatever. Uh, Blue Stripe says, like Mr. Pandaria and pre-Mr. Pandaria, but back in Wrath of the Lich King, most of the end game was gated by rep and dailies, so it's pretty much the same. I think it's not much of the world quests or rep grinds or grinds in general. It's more like the rewards have been watered down. Rewards are no longer meaningful. Same, I don't have flying either in WoW. Yeah, for me it's just that though. Like if there's a barrier to entry and I don't care as much about what's on the other side, then yeah, I'm not gonna waste any time on it. But I can always do it later. So as long as I'm rest assured that I can get it later. If they were to do that, the uh, what is the word? I forget the name of it. If they were to do the artificial. It's artificial scarcity. If they were to do the artificial scarcity, where they were to do the thing where they were like, it's a limited time only. Like, this is gonna go away. If you don't do this now, then you're never gonna get a chance to get it again. If they were to do that, then I'd probably be more willing. But that's only more willing. Like, I wouldn't be full down committed because I realized with the mage towers that it's not enough of a motivator. Even with the virtual limited time scarcity thing. Artificial scarcity, that's what it's called. I think that's the term. That doesn't address the time aspect though. There's a limited time. But artificial scarcity is a good motivator. But like I was saying, to reiterate more succinctly, the Mage Tower proved to me that even artificial scarcity has its limits. Like, that's only so much of a motivator. If I still, like, I found out I still genuinely care only about certain things. And that's what I love is, like, as a side note, like, that's interesting to me because I learned something about myself in doing that. Like, artificial scarcity does motivate me apparently, so I find, but it only motivates me to a certain extent, and that's good to know. Because like, if I know something like that, that's kind of useful about, like, you know, personal development and growth. That I could use that as a tool later on. Maybe if I can figure out a way to use that to help me later, then it will be worth the experience. Oh God. Okay. Demon Hunter come to save the day. I salute you. Zoids, the Demon Hunter, help me. Or no, not Zoids. Zounds. Zounds, the Demon Hunter, help me. That's another thing about WoW, just as a side note that I enjoy, is things like that, like Zounds, is such a simple but beautiful example of, I don't know how many times I've ran that battleground, but that's the first time I've ever heard Nathanos, or ever noticed Nathanos say Zounds, and wondered what the hell that meant, you know? And actually took some time to go out of my way to look up and learn a new word. I wonder that often though, like how often do I hear or say words in World of Warcraft that stick with me during my normal day? There are words like that I would have not ever known or used had it not been for my experience playing WoW. I'm trying to think of a good one, but I can't. Not one comes to mind at the moment, but there are words like that. Like mitigate. That's a good example. Like, mitigate is a word that I became familiar with in World of Warcraft in DC whenever I had to find out how a paladin mitigates crushing blows. I remember specifically never hearing or using that word before that point. But like now, like I notice people in just normal conversation say mitigate, and I think about WoW whenever they say, well, the only way for us to mitigate the impact of this on the economy is blah, 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 blah. And they'll be talking about something. And I'll think immediately when I hear the word mitigate, I'll think of the Burning Crusade whenever I was trying to mitigate crushing blows. And there's a lot of little things like that in WoW where, you know, had I not ever played WoW, I don't think I would have ever noticed or had the same relationship with. Oh God. Come on, I don't know how long this is gonna take. Ah! Boom, yes. You know, I've thrown a bomb here before and it's blown both of those up. I wonder why it didn't do it this time. Maybe I wasn't close enough to the left. Here we are. Ragaga. Got him, sweet. I bet you it was probably a bug that they fixed. Blue Strider says, But you're gonna grind PvP ranks because the reward for you is meaningful and classic. That's true for everyone. How many people are gonna jump into the Game Pass this week because it's $1? Yeah, the artificial scarcity. Picro says, I gotta do a Demon Hunter on Legion private server. Oh, you gotta do a DK? A DK on the Legion private server? Oh, you're going to do. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're gonna do a DK, right on. I would do the Demon Hunter to get started because the Demon Hunter starts out at a higher level. Oh wait, though you get the boosted character, right? So it doesn't matter. You literally can pick whoever. Yeah, the Legion Demon DKs are pretty good. I really liked Blood in Legion, the Blood tank. If I were to do a DK, I think that's what my Death Knight is currently spec'd even. He's Blood. There's no way to tell here apparently. Or is there? Yeah, I almost always leave. Here we are. Talents. Ooh. Oh, okay. It shows all my talents. But yeah, he's spec Blood. I love Blood. The whole Jack the Ripper thing that they got going on, I really dig all the like axe and metal slicing sound effects and animations. Those are pretty cool. Blue Strider says the words used in 14 MSQ are like out of Shakespeare. It makes me want to speak more eloquently. Yeah, that's that. It's the theme of that universe, right? Like in WoW, it's all like fantasy, like huzzah and a fortnight ago, like that type of stuff. And that's another thing. Is like before WoW, I was never introduced to that genre. Believe it or not, like maybe I was, maybe I had encounters with it, but WoW did it in a way that I'd never experienced. A lot closer to D&D than and I think even WoW, like I was introduced to WoW before I was introduced to Dungeons and Dragons. I'd heard about it before, but I never played Dungeons and Dragons or like done a campaign or anything. I think I had to have been like 19 or 20 the first time I'd ever played Dungeons and Dragons. Maybe even later than that. And that's the first time I ever actually like encountered or experienced that type of game. So WoW was my very first interaction with that whole, turn-based RPG style of game, and it was all happening instantly. So like, I don't know, it's weird. It's weird to think about. I never noticed. Picro says, I seen a tank pally with 7 million health. 7 million health? I have 48,000 on this guy. I'm trying to think. I want to say my rogue in BFA or Legion in the early expansion was only like 200k hit points. 7 million health is out of control. I can't believe that. That's crazy. I don't even know what people were getting to, honestly, though. I can't remember the numbers from Legion. At a certain point, they just became numbers. Like, me and Cuz were talking about this yesterday. Like, the numbers have gotten so astronomically huge, and then with the stats squish, they've been squished back down. So now it looks like those big numbers, quote unquote, are just like tens of thousands instead of hundreds of thousands or millions. And it just like the way I associate damage in the game no longer relies on numbers. Like I just see this is a big number or this is a small number, but not the specific values anymore. Like I don't think of the mechanics that way anymore. It used to matter like in BC and even Wrath of the Lich King, how big and specifically how big that number was really mattered. But nowadays it's like, did you get the biggest number or are you doing the smaller numbers? Oh, you critted? You critted for the biggest number? Nice. Oh, you're doing smaller numbers right now? Sucks to be you. You know what I mean? I don't know what I mean, so I'd be surprised. You know what I mean. Okay. Now we're going to with this buff. And for a little while, I was afraid up to this point to queue for PvP or island expeditions. Because I was worried after I got the taste of victory, I just right clicked it. Oh god, it didn't go away. Thank god. Or I missed. I went to mouse over it to show you guys and I thought I right clicked it. That would have sucked. But up to this point, I've been afraid to PvP or do island expeditions because I thought that this would expire when I died. But apparently, you keep it even through death. So that's really nice, and I think I'll probably be just island expeditioning to get the most benefit out of it if I can. Alright, and let's, we can DE some stuff, so we're going to do the gloves, the old staff, the old war glaze, 2 different types of legs, we don't need 2, so we'll just get that one. And 273, let's see, what is our current? 284, so our BOAs are better than these legs. Now we have all the mats. What's cool is in my questing and leveling, I've gotten 2,000 gold, so I want to say the cloak. The next class I'm going to do is, I believe I'm going to do a Shadow Priest. So I want to make sure that I have all of the BOAs for the clothies done. I'll just pick mage because it's quick. The cloak is 110 currently, so I need 5,000 for the cloak. I have the helm, I have the shoulders, the chest, and the legs done already. So yeah, I just need the cloak. I want to say, whoops, I keep on accidentally right-clicking. I want to say, yeah, 110, to get it from 100 to 110 was 2,000 gold. To get it from 110 to 120 is 5,000. And on this server, I have 9,000 gold. So yes, I'll trade all my gold to Psycho Crusher between Nightmyre, Sulema, and Decatur. And then I'll be able to actually make that a 120 cloak and level Conquer next. I saw somebody in chat the other day, babe, when I was on Sulema. They were like, Lokako Moroko Zulema with a Z. And it said like Mithia or something like that. So I was like, oh, this person's aunt's name Sulema. And they were all like speaking in Spanish. So they just saw the name and knew that it was a Spanish name. So I guess it's like a really Mexican name. I was like, damn. I didn't say anything back. I was like, you don't speak other languages? But I was surprised. I was like, damn, so that's a straight Mexican name, huh? Must be like Juan.
One.
It's one of those names.
Oh,
Blueshire says, values don't really matter. It's a paradigm shift. It's about the same percentage from expansion to expansion, so you do much more damage. Yeah, the ratio is a lot more important, right? 8-man popped finally. Gotta go see you, cuz. Have a good day. Alright, man. Take it easy. Thanks for stopping by. Alright, I'm waiting to see what these guys are doing, but they're just standing around the entrance here. Maybe I was supposed to pull. Why don't they go for rares anymore? I've noticed that a lot in these most recent island expeditions. Because our party doesn't focus rares as much as I thought they were important. I love you, Miss Jeanette. I hope you have a great day. I hope you take all of the pictures. Speaking of which, aren't you supposed to... Are you going to come back at lunch and get dressed? Or?
yeah.
Ah, okay.
Oh, look. It's
What time did... Oh. that's not worth it. Let's go down to this rare. 6. I think I might die here. Please. Oh god. Maybe I should have focused the little guys. Yeah, the XP buff stays. Nice. What time did Alex go to sleep last night?
When I went to the down.
So it was a decent hour? It wasn't like 3 a.m.?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
Just making sure because I'm going to wake him up earlier. If he's on schedule. Yesterday I felt bad, so I just let him sleep until noon because he'd stay up so late. I went in to wake him up at like 10, and I just saw him sitting there with his mouth hanging open, all pathetic. I was like, oh, poor son, I'm gonna let him sleep some more.
I think he just, I don't know what he's done there for what his time, but it's the game.
Oh god. Something just rocked me. I don't know, babe. I don't think it's what he's playing. I think it's just if he has one of them devices, he'll stay up. Because he's engaged. If he's like paying attention to something. I mean, I have the same thing. It could be videos, or it could be like reading a book or whatever. If it's in my hand when I'm trying to lay down and my mind's thinking about what's going on the screen or, you know, in the story, then it's harder to fall asleep. I'll actually fight my sleep to continue watching the story, being involved in the story. Here, let's, can we pull just one? I don't think we can. I want that scene though. Oof, oof, here they come. Okay, we're gonna have to get on this guy. So let's focus the big dude, and that is what hurts. Ow! I can't do that by myself. If I go Healy Pally, I could stay alive, but it probably won't be beneficial because I won't do as much damage. So I should probably just stay with my party members. Actually, I don't know why I haven't been just staying with them from the get-go. Sorry, so sorry. These guys in these island expeditions don't play either. You can get booted. I just wanted that rare. Let's catch up though. I guess because I'm a miner, all these dots are popping up is throwing me off. I love you, Miss Jeanette. Have a good day. Damn it, I moved too quick. I'm gonna do the chicken today.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to chicken.
It's not gonna be ready at lunchtime though.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to dinner.
Yeah, you go. We got all the ingredients, so I'll be able to do it.
Okay.
There's a cave down here, and there's right there.
I'll see you in a bit.
Alright, love you, bye. Oh god. I'm taking damage a lot quicker now. Fuck. The pally is squishy. I'm not used to how squishy this guy feels now. Back in my day, it used to matter if you wore plate. Oh, they got him. Okay, cool. I don't feel very fast. Oh, because I got bloodlust. Like, I feel slow for some reason. I think I'm lagging. Am I lagging? What's happening here? I think I need to move that. Yeah. My Arcane Torrent is a 2-minute cooldown, but it's a nice purge. So I need to have that accessible. Is this not active? Oh, oh god. Oh god. Why am I so squishy? No, you don't. Oh, he's getting healed or something. Okay. Let's activate this extractor. Unfortunately, we got somebody that died, but no orbs nearby to res him. Sometimes I wonder if my team are the NPCs. Damn, I'm squishy. Why am I so squishy? Okay. Ooh, an apple. Oops, somehow I got another guy. The little dactyl bat thing. Let's eat this apple. So those apples are pretty good heals. It's like 80% of my hit points. Now, I'm going to double check on the Azerite extractor, because, yeah, there's stuff that spawns. We want this volatile Azerite, folks. If we can survive. Cool. Ow! I hit something. Here, let's get a heal. And another one. I got a 5 holy power spender called Justicar's Vengeance. It heals me for as much damage as I do, or just about. And if the target's stunned, it automatically crits. So I try to do that whenever I can. Alright, what are we looking at here? Looks like in this cave. Okay, we got it pulled already. The Wendigo. The Wendigo. Oh god. Man, this is rough. No orb though, huh? So rares don't drop orbs, only the elites do. We're barely beating the enemy. Why are we pulling these non-elites? Oh. Oh God. Oh goodness. I get like boo-boo FPS when I'm dead. I'm sure there's something in the options I can disable to keep that from happening. We still ain't even got this rare over here. Can we get this one, guys? No? We can't. Okay. Just stay with the party. Pedro said, "Ree." You're making that Death Knight? Man, we're barely keeping ahead of the Alliance right now. What is a Crocolis egg? Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Let's pull him back. Come back. Nope, they pulled everything. All that effort. Here at least is a rare. This will be a good heal. Don't die. Heal thyself. Pedro said, got DK and Demon Hunter. Can get to item level 950 plus now too. 950 plus. What tier is that? Is that like is that Argus raid gear or Argus level gear? We're at 260 right now in BFA, but the numbers are skewed in the different expansions, so I don't know. That 950 gear is just like your starting gear, though. All right, let's kill this Viper, because we got people dying. Yeah, I found out in Diablo, man, those numbers just scale. They'll continue to scale and be larger, but what matters more is like the ratios That's what me and Cuz was talking about earlier, where if you're item level 950 and all the mobs that you're attacking are item level 950, then it just feels like you cancel each other out and combat's still like, you know, a couple minutes long. Right now, it feels like I'm under geared. So it feels like I'm at item level 260 and these guys are at item level 360. That's the way it feels like in this island expedition at least. So I wonder, are you over there one-shotting stuff since you're item level 950? Or are you still in competitive fights where you barely get out of the skin of your teeth? Wow, we won that. I don't even I don't even know how we won that. That was close. Lashire says, "Yo, I'm back. That moment when you use limit break in a raid and the enemy is immune." That's like your ultimate, right? Big Girl says tier 20. Oh, okay. T20 gear, nice. Yeah, but are the mobs scaling with you? Or are they like T20 difficulty or? The Temple of Sethralis. Okay. I think for this battle, I'm in combat, aren't I? Damn. Did I get in combat? Yes, I am. Okay. Never mind. I noticed these lobby dungeons, they like to chain pull, and they like to pull a lot. But maybe it'll just depend on the tank. So for this tank, he's a lot less kind of crazy as far as level and gear are concerned. Of course, I don't know. Judging from his gear, he might have some Legos on. If he does, maybe it'll be in my best interest to... Yeah, he does. He's got a Lego. No, he's not too crazy geared. He's just got the shoulders. Blood boil, damage and healing stacking. Yeah, our Pally's taking damage somehow. In some of these dungeons, like this dungeon here and the Mother Lode, we get like crazy tanks and heals every once in a while. And they want to pull the whole first half of the dungeon and then like AoE everything down. And I've thought about for a while switching my spec to an AoE spec for those runs. But the moment I remember, the dungeon that I remember to do it in, it's gonna be just like a normal run like I'm used to, or like I'm set up for. Lushar says, yeah, we wiped, I got it right the second time. I waited for someone else to do it, but I went ahead. Higro says, not yet. Demon Hunter at level 108 with 745 item level. Oh, okay. So you do still have to level them, huh? You've just got a geared Demon Hunt or Death Knight? Bushwire says, I still got player commendations though. That's like, are those like your tokens? Like your tokens of justice or valor? Is he looking at me? Why is he looking at me? Pigro say, yep. Oh, okay. So you do still have to level. With the Miss of Pandaria server, though, what was it, Genesis? You get the max level character boosted, though, right? Bushrider says, I don't know, it's more like who do you want to give a commendation in your party? More like a feels good mechanic that lets you know someone's appreciated you. Ah, okay. Uh-oh, I took the schmutz there. I didn't even see this guy in the back. Did he death grip him 2 feet? Why? Ah, damn. They're in the mist dust. I give mine to people who play for their classes. I try healers mostly, maybe for an interrupt. I wasn't watching though, low. Maybe just lazy. Laugh my ass off. Yeah, I remember Sotor had something like that. I would always give it to the healers. Whoever had the most heals. Or I think they even had damage prevented for tanks or damage redirected or something like that. I would do it for those as well. I remember the battlegrounds having mechanics like that. I don't remember if there was a way to track whether or not they were doing the objectives. Like for example, in Arathi Basin, whoever has like the most flag caps, you would give a commendation to somebody like that. But I'm not sure if Swoltar had something similar. There were a lot of things that Swoltar did really well that I'm hoping to see in other MMOs. They did kind of like integrate. For the longest time, I've always had regrets with tank classes in WoW and their taunts not having any effect in the battleground. But now with the war talents, you can actually pick taunt affecting abilities, which is kind of nice. Like the Demon Hunter had one where if I were to taunt somebody, or I think it's called Torment for the Demon Hunter, it applies a stacking damage buff on the target that I taunt, where if more friendly players attack that target, the damage buff stacks. So it kind of helps in focusing people down. That's pretty cool. I like that stuff. I really like being able to like redirect damage on my shadow tank to myself with anybody that I was guarding, incentivizing enemy players to attack me instead of the person I wanted to protect. And it seems so obvious, like, that should be a thing for tanks in battlegrounds, but I guess, I don't know. It depends on how you see PvP, whether or not tanks have a place in battlegrounds. For the longest, I think people have always associated tanks with just being PvE. So, like, in some expansions, I've heard people actually protesting tanks being in the battlegrounds just because they drag encounters out for so long because they're so hard to kill. I'm thinking bear tanks like the druids. I remember in one of those private servers we were playing on, somebody had it was some sort of a bear spec that had like all the armor and regen in it or whatever. And anytime you saw that tank guarding a node, like it was his. You just let him have it because you were never going to kill him. And I tried, like I went many times trying to blow up my cooldowns and nuke the guy down, and he was just unstoppable. He didn't do damage, like he didn't do a whole lot in the way of damage. He did have some annoying CC, but he was just unkillable. So he just protected a flag, and it was his for the whole match. You had to go find something else to do if he was on a node. But most tanks in games aren't as broken as that. But that's the extreme example of what I mean for tanks in battlegrounds. How they can really, I mean, if you're really good, then your CC's on point. Your different ways of just slowing or stunning or interrupting or pushing or pulling, like that I think would be the tank's objective in battlegrounds. But Soltor added the whole element of protection, which I really enjoyed. And that's what I think a tank is more than anything. He's the protector of the party. I don't know why I thought if I was behind him I wouldn't get disoriented. It's not often you get to the phase where the snake starts disorienting, so it's kind of a rare mechanic to see. Death gripped and interrupt. I feel like you're so late on reading this out of context. Oh, my bad. I love that PvP in Solitaire your shadow and my healer took like 7 enemies. We were unkillable for like 5 moments in an MMO. It's best in slot for quick RBGs, Warsong, Demon Hunters, running Flap OP. And the one with the dragging the cart runes, Demon Hunter tank that is. Oh yeah. Tanky Demon Hunter in Deepwind Gorge, I think it's called. I think of that, whenever I think of that ability, I think of it's probably super useful in arenas, like 2v2s, 3v3s. Puh, ragaga. Puh, ragaga. Sometimes I get by on the steed in those little narrow passings. I wasted a Justicar's Vengeance there. Oh shit, why are we dying? Just lay on hands. It's always strange to me to see the party taking damage and not getting topped off if the healer has mana. Of course, the healer is DPSing, come to think of it. Rake, melee, rip, Rake, Sunfire. How? Oh, he's going to Kitty. Okay. I've seen that a few times, and I've died a few times because of that, where the tank, or the healer rather, queues as a DPS, or vice versa. The DPS queues as a healer, and you don't get healed throughout the dungeon. That happened the other day. I was like, why am I dying if the healer has mana? He is rejuvenating and shit and cultivating, so he must be resto. He's probably just got a feral affinity. But he's doing pretty well for a resto with feral affinity. If that's the case, yeah. Pretty good. Oh, okay, this might be why. He's got the fanciness. I didn't get a chance to read it. I'm supposed to block these beams. Galvanize, increase damage taken. I don't know what that does for him, but it gives me damage taken increased. I imagine it just makes him hit harder. Oh snap, here we go. Let's see if we can make it. Oh, my throat today. I don't know what it is. My throat's been all, I don't know, I guess dry? Come to me. Oh god, oh god. Look, somebody else has noticed. A vote has been initiated to kick for not healing. They noticed like I did, so he's probably wondering WTF right now. He's all standing there like he's surfing. Oh god. Maybe we should have said something before we kicked him though. Are we requeued? Yes, now we're requeued. Yeah, you gotta at least be good if you're gonna do that. Like Nightmyre could do some DPS and heal at the same time. Or vice versa, heal and do DPS at the same time. Of course, he could at the beginning of this expansion whenever I first entered. Now that my Legos don't apply anymore, I don't know if that's still the case. Actually, it may be, but he's not going to DPS half as good as he did at the beginning. Because initially, I would do like 30% of the group's damage by myself each pull. But that was largely due to the fact that I had the healing legendaries. So now that they're not effective, I don't think that would be the case. I'd probably be like, I'd be between here, 12 to 20%, I think now. I had to go heals yesterday. I wanted to go tank for that wanted mission, but I didn't have a sword and shield. And I realized I left my artifact in the bank, so I wasn't able to. The paladin feels like home to me. Any of the specs. Ret really is the main spec that I've been since Burning Crusade, but even tanking and healing feels like home. And it's weird because the moves have changed so much over the years and in the different expansions and stuff, but it still feels so natural. I think that is a testament to the design of the class, I guess. How it's I guess more specifically how it's changed so much in like even the systems like Holy Power that weren't introduced until later still feel like it plays the way it used to. Blue Strider said, laugh out loud, there's no kicking in Classic. No kicking in Classic? What do you mean? One thing I fell off of, I noticed with the Pally, is throwing my little helpful buffs. Like, all I really have now is Blessing of Protection. But I used to be able to do Blessing of Sacrifice and Salvation, and I can throw my Blessing of Freedom on different targets, and my greater blessings are now automatic, so it feels like I'm not doing that anymore because I just kind of like set it at the beginning and forget it. And they even persist through death, but come to think of it, I haven't even buffed this new healer. So I have to remain less vigilant for the greater blessings, but I felt like I was actually doing something to help the party in previous expansions with the Pally. Whereas now it's like, I don't know, Pallies have become more selfish a little bit in a way. It's not the same vibe with Pally nowadays. And you can actually spec and outfit your Pally to actually lean in more towards the selfishness or the self-buffing. So I find myself doing that more often, just buffing myself and stuff. And just contributing to my own DPS instead of the parties. Oh! I didn't realize I was that low. I was getting ready to throw my bubble on. I didn't think that guy was going to hit that hard. I've never died there. I think that's the first time I've ever died on this encounter. Jeez. Well, timeout for me. Can't the Demon Hunter or the Death Knight battle res me? He can raise ally. 74 days, 18 hours, 42 minutes, and 25 seconds until the release of Classic, folks. August 27th is on the horizon. Death Knights. Death Knights don't have. Maybe the Blood DKs don't have it though. I haven't played my Death Knight this expansion. He may be next. Oh yeah, he does. Cheer. He had to fish in his spellbook for that one. Pulls ability from spellbook to bar. Feels like summer. Feels like summer. Get out of here. I'm trying to click the chest. I keep on clicking players and stuff. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Stand tall. Alright, I'm spacing out, guys. So I think with that, we're going to wrap up today's episode of Elude Stalwart playing World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth. I appreciate you guys tuning in. And until next time, be well. Be well. See you later, folks. See you, Pink Rose. Later, cuz. Thanks for tuning in.